Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This is your host, Millie Mills. We got a great show for you. Welcome to the show. This is a show, Bring It in the House, where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. And of course, we have a dynamic leader in the house, all the way from New York. He's a nationally syndicated radio personality and so much more. We'll get into that a little bit later. Please, everyone, give a warm welcome for Sheffic.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Now, Sheffic, you are from New York City, correct?
Yes, I was born in New York City, Brooklyn, New York, to be exact. So I've been here virtually all my life, but I actually used to live in Dallas, Texas also. So I lived
Really?
there, for a good period of time.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's kind of how, is that how you ran into the opportunity to work with Tanya in the Harambe Festival?
Indirectly, you would say. So
Indirectly.
I worked with Eva Miles, who has a
Okay.
foundation called Anna's House, which actually they're working on right now. Today is October, and it's
Mhm.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So every
Mhm.
year she has programs and activities that she does throughout this year. And I've known her for close to 30 years now, even when I used to live down there. So she actually introduced me to the people at Harambe, Dallas, where we're going to talk about
Mhm.
it in a minute, and also
Mhm.
Altanya Hill and her
Mhm.
team. So it's wonderful to be a part of that.
Yes, yes, and that's how I was able to connect with you through El Tanya Hill. So shout out to El Tanya.
Yes.
So now, currently, you are a technical lead at NBC Universal.
Uh-huh.
Please elaborate for us.
Yes. So, yeah. So as you said, I work at NBC Universal, NBC Sports to be exact.
Mhm.
I'm a technical lead, which means I manage and develop technology, particularly for the Olympics. I worked on two Olympics so far: the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, which is the Summer Olympics, and I worked on
Mhm.
currently this year was the Beijing Olympics, Winter Olympics in 2022. I'm right now working on the World Cup, which actually starts in November, end of November, and
Oh,
throughout December. And then I'm going to be working on Paris coming up in 2024, the next Summer Olympics. So I worked on all of those and all the sporting events in between Super Bowl and NASCAR, all those kind of events. I build programming and technology that's powering those games.
amazing.
Mhm.
You, man, how do you don't get any sleep, do you? You're always so busy. Oh my
Everyone
goodness.
always asks me that. How do I keep going? How do I function? The answer is I don't stop.
Yeah.
I do sleep, right? But there
Yeah.
are there are days where I'm either up all night, or maybe
Mhm.
some days I get a few hours sleep, but then it all catches up to me by the weekend, which I get sleep all day. So it really depends on the activity that I'm doing, and the adrenaline keeps me going. The joy of doing this kind of work and working with organizations such as Harambe Dallas keeps me motivated, keeps me going. Feels like I have a mission and purpose in life, not only to fulfill what I'm doing, but helping other people to fulfill their dreams too.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
this is your third time hosting the Harambe Festival in
Yes, yes,
Dallas.
third
Okay.
time, third time,
Okay.
48th annual. So it's a
Oh,
long, rich history. Of course, started in 1974, which is a great milestone. And not to say my age, but I was born in 1974 too. But so
okay.
it's a full circle moment for me,
Yeah.
not only to be a part of that rich history, but also to bring back to Dallas. As you said, I am living in New York right now, but
Yeah.
I do give back to Dallas all the time. And
Mhm.
what I'm doing there, I'm not going to be there in person. So just to clarify, what happened was obviously we all know COVID hit us a few years ago, and things got shifted. The world shifted. Even in-person activities became more online and virtual. So I was brought in at that time to help figure out a new way to bring Harambe Dallas to a new generation of audience that may not be there in person. So
Right.
we crafted a new program, crafted a new way of reaching out to the audience where we could actually reach them in our homes and activities. That worked very well, successfully. Thousands of viewers, literally thousands of viewers tuned in to our live broadcast, not only that first year, 46th annual, but also last year, 47th annual. And now that we're coming back live in your face, that's our theme and mission for
Yeah.
this year's 40th annual. We'll be in person, live in your face.
Mhm.
However, since it worked so well successfully past couple years virtually, it will be
Mhm.
a hybrid going forward. So
Going
what means that we're not going to replicate necessarily what you're going to see in person. So
Mhm.
people who are there in person still come back to your homes, share it, what our stream's going to be, because it's going to be a diverse programming that you're going to see
Mhm.
online too. Because we want to,
Mhm.
again, reach new audiences, not only in Dallas, Fort Worth area, but also all around the world. We've had
Mhm.
a wide spectrum of people who have now begin to realize the rich history of Harambe, of what it is. Kemne tradition, things like that, African tradition, alternate to Halloween. People come there in person, get their treats for their kids, find activities, Watoto Village, things like that. Live programming, which is live artists, not only national acts perform, but we have people who are regional acts, because it's also giving back to the community. And we're very well supported by community, the mayor's office, city council, all these kind of dignitaries who are wide supporters of what we're doing. And of course, shout out to our Chase Bank partners and all the other sponsors of activities.
That's amazing. You gave a lot of insight there. I have had the privilege because I lived in Dallas once, and I had a privilege to attend
Mhm.
one of the festivals, and it is amazing. And to see that it's still going on 48 years consecutively, it's just it's yeah, that's something
Yeah,
to recognize.
yeah, and,
So
and just to be clear, 48, we're not stopping, right? We're already planning the 50th, which is going to be the biggest and best ever. We want to have that milestone 50th anniversary. So, of course, people who want to support, we're accepting volunteers, donations, whatever you are in to support, come out and support us.
Yes. Yes, and I talked with El Tanya about that, and she was telling me that some of the 50th celebration will include like past performers
Mhm.
who performed on some of the previous shows in the past. So that's going to be exciting to see some of those regional and national acts come back and perform
Yep.
to celebrate that 50th year. And
Mhm.
so just to confirm, the Harambe Festival 48th anniversary, or it's going to be October 29th, right? Two
Correct.
weekends from now on
Yes.
a Saturday, October 29th from 10 to 3, correct?
Correct. And that's Central Time, 10 to
Central
3.
Time.
Of course,
Yeah.
with me being here in New York, again, the live broadcast is going to be broadcast here from New York. And I will have a correspondent again, Sweet Savage. She's been a great partner on this for the past 3 years also. So just also to note, she's coming back again for the third year, and we're going to host that live stream. In person, again, different activities in person, we have Vita Loca. So you
Yeah.
may be familiar
Familiar.
with her, the radio
Yeah.
DJ down there. She's going to be hosting the live activities in person. I'm hosting the one with Sweet Savage here remotely. I'm here in New York. Sweet Savage will actually be there in person on the
Yeah.
grounds of the Harambe Festival,
In
walking
Dallas.
around, talking, interviewing with our leaders, elders, sponsors, dignitaries, people who want to, capture that moment and celebrate with us year after year.
Oh, that's amazing. And
Mhm.
yes, I am familiar with Vita Loca. Shout out to
Yeah.
Vita,
Yes.
97.9 The Beat. I believe she's a morning personality for that radio station now, if I'm not
Yeah. Well, I think
mistaken.
she might have moved. Yeah, she was. I think evenings and weekends. I think
Mhm.
before. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yes, I used to catch her in the evenings when I lived in Dallas, and it's good to see her now during mornings. So congratulations to Vita, and this is just so exciting. I don't know if I'll get a chance to attend, but just in your own words, I know you touched on a lot about the Harambe Festival, some of the history, but what does it mean to you personally,
Well, for
Shepe?
me personally, and I've said
Mhm.
this in the prior broadcast too, my
Mhm.
family's from Sierra Leone, West Africa.
Okay.
So, and of course, Harambe is a tradition that was born from Kenya, Africa.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, my history and my involvement involves my African tradition to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a profound statement for me to be a part of it and to give back to what it means to be African. I'm actually the first generation born here in the United States. My mother was born in Africa. My grandmother was born in Africa. My cousins, things like that. So it's important for me to give back and identify, to the motherland and to the homeland, to what it means, and also to express that sentiment to a new generation of children may not be able to go to travel to Africa or to understand what it means to respect their elders in a meaningful manner, such as Harambe, where we're giving back to the community, year after year.
Hey, that's wonderful. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. Now, aside from the Harambe Festival, you are a nationally syndicated radio personality,
Yes,
and you have your own show, and it's called Sheffic Presents Invocation.
correct. Yes.
Okay, please elaborate. Tell us what that's about.
All right. So that's a nationally syndicated radio show, terrestrial radio, currently
Mhm,
on 23 stations around the country, AM,
mhm,
FM stations. I started at July 4th, 2016 was the very first broadcast. And July 4th, of course, is Independence Day. Thank you.
mhm,
So
mhm,
Independence Day was also a statement for myself professionally, what it means
mhm,
to have an ongoing longevity in the business and in the
mhm,
industry, entertainment. And that was a statement for myself to say, here I am again to spark a revolution, not
yes.
only in what I'm doing, but to make a statement again in the community. So the very first topic itself was revolution for the radio show. It's a full 1 hour broadcast. It's highly produced, which means that sometimes it could take me many, many months to comprise a various show. So even though it's broadcast live, it's not actually taped live.
Mhm,
So I actually go on location all around the country and film the guests in their interviews. Each interview segment ends up being maybe average 2 to 3 minutes or so. I don't
mhm,
appear on camera on those segments. I say to the guest, here's the topic, tell me what it means to you. So they give me the information, what it means to them in their lives. It could be an experience, it could be a mantra, it could be an observation, it could be anything that they define the word to be. I take that word and their definition and I comprise the radio show. So the show itself, if you listen to an entire hour, you might get average of 3 to 4, sometimes 5 different guests with different definitions and spectrums about that word. And then each guest, I match it with a song. So it's a music-based program,
okay,
that only enlightens people through the words, but also through music. Yeah. You
that
know,
is
yeah.
amazing.
And all the video segments are also online. They're also in actual retail locations too. I'm
Mhm,
literally in about 20 locations, 20 states around the
mhm,
country. There's some Dunkin' Donuts locations, there's doctor's offices, there's car
mhm,
dealerships, restaurants, I have casinos. I have some stadiums where you see
mhm,
concession stands and the
mhm.
screens. They're playing my content in loops all over there. So that's one of the outlets. And of course, I'm on smartphones and TVs all around the world.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. I know I was checking out some of your work on your YouTube channel, and I was like, okay, wow, you guys a lot of material. Guys,
Mhm.
go to Sheffic's YouTube channel. He's got like what, almost 1 million viewers now on
Well,
YouTube.
just to clarify, I know you have almost 1 million viewers on YouTube. To clarify, it's almost 1 million listeners for the radio show.
Listen,
All right.
on the
So you
radio.
play that intro, which was my intro that I had
Mhm.
for season 3
For season
a
2.
few years ago. Right now, I'm celebrating the 6th anniversary of it. So the audience has doubled since then, where
Ooh.
now I'm getting close to 1 million listeners per month. The awards in that video, it listed 34 awards. Now it's over 40 awards. And, it's out there. So the viewers itself for the videos, I
Mhm.
get my majority of viewers from the retail locations, right?
Okay.
Which could mean those retail locations that I mentioned. So I get, hundreds of thousands of viewers per month
Viewers
from the
per
videos, right?
month.
But sometimes those locations might have 100 people in a room. In the case of a stadium, you can have 1,000 people, and it's like one loop for there. So it's not
Mhm,
like aggregated the same way you could watch a YouTube video where it says one person for a view. My
mhm,
view could mean 10 people, could mean 100 people, could mean a
mhm.
thousand people, whoever's in the room at that time.
All right, that is amazing. So it goes to show your hard work. Your hard
Mhm.
work. You put in a lot, and that's why you're so successful. Because the more you put in, I guess the more you get out, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So you grew up in New York. So tell us a little bit about your childhood. I mean, how many siblings do you have, or any
Well,
children?
unfortunately, I've had two siblings that passed away, recently, right?
Oh no, I'm
So
so
I've had
sorry.
four sisters. I'm the only male. Um,
Mhm.
so four sisters. My eldest sister, everyone's younger than me, first of all, but
Mhm.
my eldest sister out of that group, her name is Tony Knight. She passed away due to heart failure while she was working. She supports the YWCA, and she was actually working there at the time. She passed away while she was working, unfortunately.
Mhm.
6 months after that, my youngest sister had passed away, Tracy Knight. So this
Yeah.
happened, of course, within the same year, about a year ago. So it was very hard for the family. We're still, dealing with all of this. So what happened last year, as it relates to Harambe Dallas, if you watch the encore broadcast that we have online on YouTube as well as Facebook, I actually
Mhm.
brought on my sisters on camera, my two remaining sisters, Mary
Yeah.
Knight and Randy Knight, as well as their children. So
Mm.
it was a moment for not only for me to represent Dallas and my heritage there for Africa, but also to give homage to my sisters that passed away, plus my current sisters that are there with me, plus the new generation of the kids, which is my nieces and nephews. So we are inviting them back again this year. So if you enjoyed their commentary
Mhm.
and everything like that from last year, they will be back this year, hopefully, and as well as some more surprises.
We're good. We're good. And I'm
Yeah,
so sorry for your loss. You do have my condolences on behalf of Millhouse Entertainment. We're very sorry to hear about your loss.
thank you,
Okay.
appreciate it.
You're very welcome. So when you were a little, just a little Sheffic, did you know back then as a child that you were going down this career, you could go down this career path in entertainment?
Well, I always did things in entertainment, right?
Hmm.
I was going to be a doctor, first of all,
Okay.
but I was going to do both. I always was meaning to do both because I was conditioned to think, okay, you be a doctor, be a lawyer, you could have financial stability, right? It's
Yeah.
always hard to find work in entertainment. You hear the stories, you hear the trauma that people
Mhm.
go through that. But I went to college the first year, freshman year, and I was going to be a doctor for that first year. But then halfway through it, I changed my majors and I shifted over to full-time entertainment,
Yeah.
dedicating what is going to be in that industry. And I
Hmm.
felt that, either way, whatever I'm doing in life, it's not really about the money or searching that monetary,
Yeah.
value from it. It's finding happiness in it. And I
Yeah.
felt that, okay, I'd rather be broken and happy rather than rich and not happy. Right. So if what they say is true about entertainment, that you can't make it, you're a struggling actor, you're struggling
Yeah.
this, whatever, okay, well, so be it. At
Yeah.
least I'll die happy. Right.
Yeah.
So um, but
Yeah.
fortunately, things have worked out for me, right? As
Yes.
I
Yes.
mentioned, I work in technology too, which is a
Yeah.
transition. It is relatable because, of course, NBC is an entertainment media company, and
Mhm.
what happened was, as the world changed, right? This is the big
Mhm.
difference. Is when I went to school for TV broadcasting.
Mhm.
Um, whatever that
Certainly.
meant, at the time, right? For
Mhm.
the job. But after that, I became a music publicist. So I worked as a music publicist, so I was still pursuing the entertainment side of it too.
Yes.
And by doing that, the world changed where the internet became a more prevalent media. So I was there sort of at the right place, right time, as far as what it meant for technology to come to the forefront there. So my clients in music and entertainment started slowly becoming clients in technology.
Okay.
So I was able to find that bridge
There you
even to
go.
what I'm doing today to say not only be a technology person, very hands-on, because I'm very hands-on programming things like that. I'm a
Mhm.
self-taught person with that. It didn't exist when I went to college. It shifted
Mhm.
afterwards. But
Yeah.
I found a way to bridge the gap again, where the same people that I grew up admiring as music artists or people in film and television, I've now either become friends with them or worked with them personally throughout the years, and the
Yes.
list keeps growing and growing. So it's always a wonderment to know that I fulfilled a lot of what I've set out to do, and I feel fulfilled a lot more that I didn't realize is able to be fulfilled. And that's
Yes.
the key thing. It's like, you go sometimes on faith and instant things that you may not know what's going to happen. But when you're finally in that moment, or sometimes even after that moment, then you
After.
sit back and say, well, all right, maybe I did something here. Maybe something was correct. Right.
And you
And
did it. Hmm.
right. And the validation that I know that is correct is not only me sitting down in a room looking at the wall saying, okay, I'm validated now. It's people coming up to me personally, commenting on my work, such as yourself inviting me on this show to say, I acknowledge you, you're here, thank you, things like that. It makes a difference,
Oh,
Mhm.
I'm real softy, so I might get a little teary-eyed,
Right.
but yes, I'm going to show some of the pictures to confirm. These are some really, I found a lot of your work.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's Sarah Dash, who recently passed away. You may know her from LaBelle, Patti
from
LaBelle and the
LaBelle,
Bluebells.
yes, rest in peace.
She's been a great friend. She's been on my show Invocation. That photo was taken during our shoot.
Mm-hmm.
She was here in New York, and we taped that. So
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, and here we go
right.
with.
That's my good friend Sharice Arrington. She was a recording artist herself. She was on MCA Records, and
Mhm.
we're actually there. I went to go visit her in Illinois recently,
Mhm.
and we forgot to take the photo. We actually went to Regina Bell's concert. We forgot to take a photo while we were there at the concert. So I was like, okay, we went to the gas station. I was like, okay, let's take this photo right quick. So that's, but we've been friends for like over 25 years.
I saw the gas pump in the background.
Yeah, we were too busy, taking photos of Regina,
Yeah.
and everything. It's like we forgot to, take a photo of ourselves. We're here. So.
Right. And here's the great picture
And,
here.
and of course, that's Melba Moore, Tony Award winner, 4-time
Yeah.
Grammy Award nominee.
Yeah.
I worked with her multiple times. I actually used to be her publicist back in the late 90s.
Yes.
And this picture was taken while I was preparing my first season of my radio show and video series. So I was there. In the background, you see New York City. We're in New Jersey side, and that's Hudson River. And in the background, that's New York City. And the person taking the photo is actually my cousin, Moke Kamara, who has helped me out very greatly in the early episodes. And he's actually in Africa right now himself.
It's a great picture, and here's one more here.
And of course, that's CR Capers. We didn't discuss this yet, but of course, one of the other shows I host is In Our Time with Sir Sheffic, where that's a 1-hour live broadcast. It's a news broadcast, and target audience is LGBTQ community, and we target that community. We've honored and interviewed a lot of candidates for Congress. This year, we've honored and interviewed people who are attorneys. We've had people who worked with government agencies and all sorts of advocacies and people from the community. So that's a wonderful thing we do for Harambe Film House. You could watch that in 247films.tv, and we're in season 2 of that. So we've done like maybe over 25, 26 episodes so far. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then I caught you doing some other fun stuff here.
All right. Yes, that's me wearing the mask and the hat and everything. I was in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade last year, 2021. And I was the banner carrier. So the Spirit of America Dance Stars, if you watch it on NBC, that's the dance troupe. It's the young teenagers who do their cheerleading and dancing. So I was the banner carrier for leading that section. There was 2 banner carriers. So I held a banner in this photo, but during the broadcast, I hold one side and another banner carrier holds the other side. So we were there to represent NBC. Again, this is broadcast on NBC. So they invited, Macy's invited a lot of the employees from NBC to be banner carriers that year to commemorate our return to the parade and say, we were good partners throughout COVID also. So that was, I think that was the 75th anniversary of the Thanksgiving Day Parade. So I'm not going to be in it this year. Unfortunately, I did get injured a little bit with my foot during the parade. So I'm still, want to be safe. I did get invited back this year, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm going to set this one out. But maybe next year,
Maybe next year. Yeah.
I'll return, and it'll be great.
Make sure your foot is fully recovered, right?
Yes, yeah, I could walk and everything like that, but every now and again it starts to act up. So I would
Yeah.
make sure that it's fully healed properly.
Yes, yes. And then I found this, the opening
Yeah,
ceremony.
yeah. So as I mentioned at the beginning of your program, I work at NBC. So this is the one of the
Olympic.
graphics from the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So even though it says 2020, of course, COVID delayed it a year. So the actual broadcast was in 2021, but the still graphics and their logos still remain 2020 for historical purposes. But I was part of that. I wasn't there in person. I had to still, work from home due to COVID and everything like that. But my contributions to them were immense, along with the team that I manage, and of course my colleagues. It was a great undertaking that we had to do collectively. So it was a very proud moment for all of us.
All right. Man, this is amazing. I mean, it's so much that we could talk about. We should have drawn this out to an hour. So aside from being an MC and doing all those fun things like that, like, being in the parade, you also participate in film projects, right?
Yes, film and television projects outside, and music videos too.
All right. So you're partnered with an organization that's including the Harlem Films.
Yeah, Harlem Film House.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I mentioned earlier with that's a show that we do in our time that you can watch on 247films.tv. That's broadcast every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to tune in for that. And also, all throughout this year, and also throughout the previous year, I've been ramping up a lot of on-screen things. So there's some things I can't disclose yet due to non-disclosures, but I've taped my appearances on at least 5 or 6 television shows that are coming out. And these are shows that you know what they are, if I would say there. So, and there are major networks and streaming networks also. And also, I can tell you the very first one's going to come out in a matter of a few weeks. It's called The Good Fight. I'm in the last season, season 6 of The Good Fight, which was broadcast on CBS as well as Paramount Plus on there. If you go online to YouTube, look for the season 6 promo, you will see me in it. So close to 2 million people have already watched that promo. However, I'm in the promo, but you gotta look fast because they cut it very fast.
Yeah.
So I'm in there for a good 1 or 2 seconds, with the high impact music and everything like that.
Yeah.
But however, if you watch the episode, hopefully it'll be more than the 2 seconds in there. But if they kept that in, I'm sure they'll keep in the larger segment that we did together, and it'll be surprising, that episode. I can't give away too much from that, but yeah, in a few weeks, go to Paramount Plus and tune in and watch that. Then outside of that, there's some movies coming out that I've been a part of. There's one movie that's executive produced by Leonardo DiCaprio that I'll be in. I already shot it, everything like that. So a lot of these roles are just quick appearances, cameos, or background roles, things like that. Things to increase my visibility for the other projects that I'm doing outside of Harambe Dallas and Invocation, my show. But it's a matter where every month or so next year you're going to see me popping up in something very memorable. So again, I wish I could tell you all this, but you'll see.
No spoiler alerts.
No spoilers, but it's some exciting things that I've already filmed.
Exactly. Before we go, time is running out. Oh my goodness. We want to say a quick happy birthday. We do a birthday shouts on the show. So we want to do this real quick. Happy birthday to Jackie Ogden, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Alpha Rho Chapter, Spring 87. She's my line sister, and we pledged together back in 87. Also, happy birthday to Robert Claiborne Jr., Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Gamma Delta Chapter, Spring 87. We all pledged together at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. So I had to get my shout outs to them. But before we wrap things up with you, Shefik, is there anything else you want to say? Any shout outs, any words of encouragement to
Well, of course, Harambe Dallas, once again, October 29, 2020. It's going to be 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Time in person, live in your face. If you want to come in your face and be live with us, it's going to be 2922 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Dallas, Texas. If you want to tune in and watch the live broadcast that we're streaming, myself is hosting again, once again, the third year, along with Sweet Savage. You can go to Facebook. Dallas Harambe Festival is the free name on Facebook. You can go online, harambedallas.com, and tune in and watch us. And once again, if you're there in person, Vita Loca, shout out to her, she'll be there in person. But if you want to watch my show, invocation.co. That's the website. Sheffic presents Invocation. Lots of interesting things here for the radio show and the video series.
Okay. So if they want to book you, someone want to book you, something, would they need to just reach out to you at that website?
Yeah, you can go to invocation.co. At the homepage, all of my social media links are on there. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of that. I'm reachable, and I do monitor all of those social media things. Yeah.
All right. You heard it, everyone. Thank you so much, Sheffic, for stopping by and spending time with us. And next week, I'm bringing in the house. We'll get to talk with a very talented young lady, rising superstar. I'm already speaking it. You don't want to miss it. Bring it in the house. Thank you, Sheffic. And
all right.